I am the ruler. Treat me royal, serve me loyal, got to be spoiled. Ooh, put me up high, this is my hive. See me shine, shine, glitter. Like a diamond, leave you blind, that's how I get back in line. What's yours is mine, can't tell me nothing. I'm the finest.
Welcome to Girl Talk Unfiltered. Today's show is The Joy Being Petty. All right, let's get this out the way. I am a petty bitch sometimes, and so are you. Don't lie. If you say you're not, you're either boring, delusional, or you've been brainwashed by too many Instagram quotes about rising above. But here's the thing. Petty gets such a bad rap. We act like it's toxic, immature, or something we should grow out of. But sometimes, petty is joy. Petty is therapy. Petty is the unfiltered version of us that doesn't want to sit quietly and meditate. She wants to fight back. Petty is the group chat receipts. Petty is unfollowing your ex but still stalking his new girlfriend's Facebook page. Petty is the silent thrill you feel when you know you didn't text back and he's checking his phone every 5 minutes. And listen, I'm not saying live your whole life in petty mode, but I am saying stop acting like you don't love it, because sometimes being petty saves us. And today, we're going to talk about why. But first, about me. My home is sacred, my sanctuary. It's where I recharge, feel safe, and find peace. I spend a lot of time and money making it as comfortable as possible. If I invite you into my space, consider it an honor and a privilege. Say no, and I won't invite you again. You are off the very short list. That's just how I protect my peace. Also, I am completely non-confrontational. If we can't sit down and have a calm, honest conversation, I'm out. No theatrics, no scenes, no chasing, no public meltdown. I like my peace. I won't stand on the street corner arguing and cussing you out. That's not my style. If I'm that hurt or that furious, I walk. Silence is my mode. You'll get complete silence. I'm too old and too grown for childish behavior. I'm easy to get along with. You talk to me, I talk to you. You don't, then I don't. Simple. I can have a mental funeral for you in my head and move on. And now you no longer exist. It sounds cold, but it's my way of protecting my peace and my emotions. And trust me, you do not want me in full Hulk mode. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. So don't make me delete you. All right, back to the show. Segment 1, confession time. Okay, let's get this straight. Everyone has a petty side. Everyone. You, me, your sweet grandma who pretends she's above it all. Petty is universal. And if you say, no, not me, I'm mature, baby, you lying, or you're boring, pick one. So let's have a little confession time. No, not just mine, all of ours. Let's talk about the ways petty sneaks out in everyday life. Because if there's one thing I've learned, petty is just part of being human. Some everyday petty examples. Group chat drama. When someone doesn't reply in the group chat, you start a whole new thread without them. That's petty. And don't lie, it feels good. Office petty. Your coworker eats your lunch from the fridge, So you put a post-it note on every single item with your name on it. That's petty. That's also Olympic level strategy. Relationship petty. You're mad at your partner, so you slam the cabinet doors just loud enough for them to notice. Petty is basically Morse code for figure out what you did. Friendship petty. You don't invite someone to happy hour, but you post about it on Instagram with the caption, best night ever. Baby, that's petty with sparkle. Now here's the deeper thing. Petty doesn't come from nowhere. It usually shows up when we feel powerless, when we don't feel safe enough to just say what we need. It's not always about revenge. It's about taking back a sliver of control. It's about sending a signal. I'm here. You hurt me. Pay attention. Petty is what happens when our voice feels too small, so our actions get loud instead. It's sideways communication, and it's proof that even in our messiest moments, we're still fighting to be seen. Instant gratification. Petty is a quick dopamine. It's like emotional fast food. Salty, greasy, not healthy long term. But damn if it doesn't taste amazing in the moment. Control. When someone makes us feel powerless, petty is the way we grab the steering wheel back, even if we just swerve for a second. Visibility. Petty says, you can't ignore me. I'll make sure you notice me, even if it's through a post-it on the office yogurt. So yeah, petty may not fix the problem, but sometimes it fixes you for about 5 minutes. And honestly, I'll take it. And that's the thing about petty. It doesn't always come from a toxic place. It comes from frustration. It comes from feeling invisible. Petty is what slips out when we don't feel safe enough to be direct. It's our way of saying, fuck you. Petty isn't toxic. It's Pilates for the soul. Messy form, but you still feel the burn. And I know you got your own petty confessions, so don't leave me hanging. DM me your petty Olympic stories, because this is a judgment-free zone, unless the judgment is kind of funny. When I look back at my pettiest moments, I see the pattern. They didn't come from nowhere. They weren't random bursts of chaos. They all came from a place where I wasn't expressing myself clearly, where I didn't feel safe enough to say the thing out loud, where I felt like my voice didn't matter. That's what petty really is. It's a sideways scream. It's the part of us that doesn't feel brave enough or safe enough to say, you hurt me. You disrespected me. You made me feel small. So instead, we send the Cash App request. We leave the Instagram like. We tell the story in the group chat. Petty isn't really about revenge. It's about taking back a little piece of power when you feel powerless. It's proof that even in our most immature, ridiculous moments, we're still reaching for recognition. We're still saying, I matter. My pain matters. See me. And honestly, there's something kind of beautiful in that, because it means the human spirit never stops fighting for dignity, even in the way it comes out is messy or petty or funny. But here's the truth. Petty only scratches the itch. It's temporary relief. It's that quick laugh, that fleeting thrill, that moment where you feel like you got the last word. But it doesn't heal the wound. It doesn't rebuild trust. It doesn't replace the boundary you need to set. So yeah, petty doesn't heal the wound, but it does make me giggle while I'm bleeding. Still, sometimes scratching feels damn good, and maybe that's okay, as long as we don't confuse the scratch for the cure. So if petty is just scratching the itch, Let's talk about the girls who turned that itch into a full-blown sport. Welcome to the Petty Olympics. Segment 2. All right, if petty is therapy with glitter, then the Petty Olympics are basically group therapy with a DJ. And some of you, you deserve gold medals. Because listen, petty isn't random. Petty is creativity. Petty is strategy. Petty is the art of saying screw you without ever opening your mouth. And today we're going to hand out first the bronze medal stories. Example 1, submitting an ex's email to every spam newsletter imagined. Like, bro, enjoy your daily updates from Pottery Barn and AARP. You deserve it. This one isn't about revenge. It's about frustration. It's about wanting him to feel the inconvenience you felt. Example number 2, loudly playing breakup songs whenever the neighbors or ex could hear. Adele at full blast, Taylor Swift, maybe even a little Alanis Morissette with Spice. Petty? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. This one is about expression. Music becomes the voice when words feel too raw. Silver medal stories. Example 1, Cash App requesting $3 back for gas after a terrible date. This is queen behavior. Like, sir, you wasted my time. You're not wasting my gas money too. This is about fairness. On the surface, it's silly, but underneath, it's the demand for accountability. Example 2, liking every single photo of your ex's new partner from 2012. Nothing says chaos like scrolling back a decade just to hit like on a high school prom photo. That's Olympic level commitment. This is about visibility. It's the reminder, I was here before you. Don't erase me. Example 3, using his Netflix account to watch the worst, cheesiest rom-coms until his algorithm was ruined. Imagine him opening Netflix and all he sees is Bridgerton, Twilight, and Love is Blind. Iconic sabotage. It's playful, but it's also about disruption. It's the thrill of leaving fingerprints on his world after he's walked out on yours. Now for the gold medal stories. First example, changing your ex's Uber Eats address to his mom's house. Picture it. He's craving wings, but guess who's knocking on mom's door? The wings and the drama. Humor aside, this points to the desire for exposure, to force someone's actions to be seen, not hidden. Example 2, creating a fake dating profile just to swipe left on your ex every time he pops up. Like, oh, you want to find love? Not today, Satan. This is about control. It's reclaiming the power to reject after being rejected. Example 3, mailing your ex a sympathy card that just says, sorry for your loss. Me. That's petty. That's poetry. That's performance art. This is about reclaiming worth. It's saying, you lost something valuable, and I'm not afraid to remain. Honestly, the Petty Olympics deserve their own reality show. Forget The Bachelor. I want to watch 12 women compete in events like Most Creative Cash App Request or Best Instagram Stalking Marathon. I'd host. Hell, I'd even bring medals. But here's the truth. As hilarious as these are, petty isn't just comedy. Every one of these stories points back to a deeper truth, where we felt hurt, unseen, or dismissed. Because think about it. You don't get petty with people who don't matter. You don't waste your time crafting the perfect clapback for someone who never touched your heart. Pettiness shows up where the wound lives, where we still feel a sting. Petty is the smoke, the fire underneath. That's our craving for respect, our craving to feel acknowledged, to feel like what we went through mattered, and that someone else should carry at least a piece of that weight. Now, here's the wild thing. Most of us would never say that out loud. We'd never look an ex in the eye and say, I need you to see how much you hurt. We'd never admit to a friend, your silence made me feel disposable. It's too raw, too vulnerable. So instead, we go petty. We like the 2012 prom photo. We cash app requests the $3. We blow up the Netflix algorithm. And in that small moment, we feel powerful again. Not healed, not whole, but powerful. And if we pay attention, petty is a map. It shows us exactly where the cracks are, exactly where we still feel invisible, exactly where we're still craving to be heard. So the healing doesn't start when we stop being petty. The healing starts when we ask ourselves, what's the fire underneath this smoke? And what do I actually want here? Respect, validation, closure. Because once you name that, once you see it clearly, the need for petty starts to shrink. You don't have to clap back sideways anymore. You can start speaking straight from the fire. So yeah, petty might just be the smoke, but damn, it smells like Chanel No. 5 when I'm doing it. Let's be honest. Sometimes I don't need closure. I don't need the deep talk, the apology, or the therapy session. Sometimes all I need is to unfollow you on everything and watch you panic. That's my closure. That's my self-care. And if you've ever done the oops, like the old Instagram photo on purpose move, or blasted Beyonce's irreplaceable loud enough for the whole block to hear, congratulations. You already know being petty feels damn good. So, why does petty feel so satisfying? Because it's immediate. It's instant gratification. Most of the time when we're hurt, the healthy path takes time. Therapy, self-reflection, setting boundaries, having tough conversations. That's slow, messy work. Petty is quick. It's efficient. It's a hit of dopamine when you starve for control. It's like emotional fast food. And sometimes that little jolt of power is all we're looking for. So, in the case of ignoring texts just to make him sweat, don't lie, you've done it. He texts, you see the preview pop up, and you just let it sit. The pause is the point. That's petty Pilates. It strengthens the core. Or how about posting a hot girl selfie at the exact time you know he's online? This isn't thirst. This is strategic warfare. This is art, sunlight, lip gloss caption, doing fine. Or pretending you don't know he's watching your stories. Oh, I see the little eyeball icon. Don't worry, baby. I curated this whole thing for you. This is my TED Talk. But here's the deeper truth. Petty feels good because it flips the script. When we're hurt, we feel powerless. We feel like someone else is controlling the story. Petty is our way of grabbing the pen back, even if we just doodle in the margins. It's a reminder that we still have agency. Even when someone hurts us, we can still choose how we respond. Petty gives us a sense of control, but underneath, it's pointing straight at the places where we want to feel respected, valued, and acknowledged. So the thrill of petty isn't about the act itself. It's about reclaiming a sense of self in the middle of chaos. So let me ask you, what's the pettiest thing you've ever done that made you feel powerless in the moment? Where in your life do you keep going petty instead of just saying what you want out loud? And here's the big one. What would it look like to get that same hit of empowerment in a way that lasts? Look, I'm not saying petty is the healthiest coping mechanism, but I am saying sometimes a little petty is the emotional tequila shot you need before you can get on with your night. Petty is basically emotional DoorDash. Quick, messy, but it gets the job done. So cheers to that. All right, let's be real. Petty has an expiration date. If you're still subtweeting your ex from 2014, baby, you're not petty. You're haunted. At that point, you're not competing in the petty Olympics anymore. You're just living at the stadium. Here's the thing. Petty isn't the enemy. It's the signal. It shows us where we've been hurt, where our boundaries have been crossed, and where we've been left unseen. But if all we ever do is stay in petty, we get stuck. We keep reliving the same wound over and over again. Petty scratches the itch, but it never heals it. The power comes when we pause and ask, what is this really about? Is it about respect? Is it about wanting to be acknowledged? Is it about wanting someone to finally carry the weight of what they did to us? When we start asking those questions, petty becomes a doorway. It's not just smoke anymore. It's the trail back to the fire we need to tend to. An example, blocking someone everywhere, but checking his Venmo activity. Yes, I see you tipped the bartender $2. Baby, heal. This isn't about Venmo. It's about wanting closeness while pretending to cut ties. That's tension is the signal. Example 2, still bringing up your ex in every group chat years later. At some point, you've got to retire the ex like a jersey number. Stop playing reruns. This is the wound looping. You're not talking about him. You're talking about the part of you that still feels unfinished. Example 3, subtweeting with quotes like, some people don't deserve your energy. Translation, I still check if he's watching my stories. The power here isn't in the subtweet. It's in the learning to speak directly, not indirectly. The power move isn't about becoming cold or above it all. It's about being able to laugh at the petty moment, then choose something stronger. Petty says, see me, damn it. Says, I see me, and that's enough. Petty tries to reclaim control through small jabs. Power builds control by setting boundaries, walking away, and refusing to keep reliving the same wound. And that's the glow up. Not erasing the petty side of us, but knowing when to laugh at it and when to rise above it. So let me ask you, where in your life are you stuck replaying the same petty moves? What's the wound underneath that clapback? And what would stepping into power look like instead of just recycling the same smoke? So yeah, petty can start the fire, but self-respect, that's what keeps it burning. Petty gets you the laugh, power gets you the life. And honestly, the real gold medal isn't in the petty Olympics. It's in finally judging your own damn show. So here's what I've learned through all this. Petty is fun. Petty is human. Petty is even healing in its own way. It's the scratch when you've got an itch. It's the laugh when you want to cry. But petty isn't the destination. Petty is just smoke. The real fire, that's where the power lives. And power isn't about never being hurt again. It's about what you do after the hurt. It's about deciding, I get to write the story from here. Regaining your power looks like boundaries. Saying no when you mean no. Walking away when someone can't meet you at the level you deserve. Regaining your power looks like clarity. Being brave enough to say out loud, you hurt me. This crossed the line. Here's what I need now. Regaining your power looks like respect. Choosing yourself, even when it means disappointing someone else, especially when it means disappointing someone who doesn't matter. And maybe most of all, regaining your power is remembering you don't need their acknowledgement to be whole. You don't need their apology to heal. Petty is the reminder that you still want to be seen. Power is realizing you already see yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to have my petty moments. If you ghost me, I might still blast Beyonce at full volume. Roast doesn't mean you can't have fun. It just means you don't live there anymore. Petty is my weekend trip. Power is my permanent address. So, I want you to sit with this. Where in your life are you living in petty smoke instead of tending to the fire? What boundary, what truth, what brave conversation would help you step into your power instead? And what would it look like for you to finally be the judge of your own show, not just another performer in someone else's circus? All right, that's it for today. Petty is human, petty is hilarious, petty is joy, but power is where the glow up happens. So go ahead, scratch the itch, laugh at yourself, send the petty Venmo request if you must. But when you're ready, step into your power because that's where the real prize is. Thank you for tuning in to Girl Talk Unfiltered. If this episode made you laugh, think, or text your bestie about your own petty story, share it with someone who needs it. Leave a review, subscribe, all the podcast love. And next week, we're flipping the script again. So buckle up, guys.
If you want to become a sponsor of this podcast, send us an email, download, and/or subscribe, like or follow us on social media, on our Facebook and YouTube pages form to have your comments read on the show. To be on our email list, go to our Facebook or YouTube page and fill out the form. Form your own Girl Talk group. Everyone needs a shoulder or an ear. Merch coming soon, mugs, t-shirts, and a few surprises.